It's been like 2 years since this pandemic, and I feel like I'm stepping out of the basement for the very first time. And I'm wondering, is it a whole new world? Well, I'll tell you, in the game of real estate, it most certainly is. I'm here in New York, staying at this Airbnb, on my way to Florida, traveling with my family by private jet across the country. And today, I want to take a look at the game of real estate 2 years in review, and likely what is on the horizon and what you should be doing this year to take maximum advantage of what's gone down.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Hey, what's up? Kris Krohn here. I'm in upstate New York today, and I'm doing a review with you on 5 predictions that I've made in real estate over the last 2 years since the pandemic hit. And I'm gonna end today's video with a new prediction. And by the way, we're gonna see how my track record was, because these videos aired, they went out the door, everybody saw them, and today I want to see whether I was spot on, whether I was a little shy, or whether it was a home run. Because if it was, I'm going to tell you right now that at the end of this video, I'm going to hit a grand slam with you of what I think is going to happen next.
Yes! The Red Sox win it! A grand slam to walk it off!
So check it out. Over the last 2 years, I've come out with 5 different videos through time, and I've made 5 predictions. And I'm gonna tell you right now that every time I made a prediction, I got a lot of negative press. People basically saying, BS, no way, there's no way that's gonna happen. Today we're gonna look at when I said it. I'll actually give you a link to the video itself, and then let's look at the facts. So on April 6, 2020, 2 years ago, do you remember how bad it was? Look at these beautiful homes right here. This is like normal America, right? It's not the slums. This is not upper middle class. People living in these homes were living in the same fear and terror that anyone watching the media really did. And when that happened, you know what I said? My first prediction is, if you're an investor, this is not the worst of times the way the media is portraying it. This is in fact the best of times. And you know what? There are some people that came out and they started hating.
Haters gonna hate. This is what you do to haters.
All right, so YT said, did he seriously just say we're at a low point in the real estate cycle? I thought we were near or above the 2007 highs. Well, YT, let me give you the facts. Zillow reports that the typical US home value in April 2020 to have been $252,000, but in February 2022, 2 years later, that value has risen by 31%. It's now gone up to $331,000. We were not at the top of the cycle, my friend. We were at the bottom, and now all of us are reaping with record high equity. In fact, the average American currently has over $150,000 of equity. That is a historic high, more than we've ever had before. 2 years ago, just a short while later, I came out with another video because everyone wanted to know, when's the bubble gonna burst? When's the bubble gonna burst? I said, there's nothing to burst. We are not in a bubble. And you know what? Some people hated on me for that as well. I said that we are 3.3 million homes short. We do not have a bubble. There is nothing to burst. And then we had chasms. He said, here are my concerns. The real estate cycle is due. 20 million unemployed and growing. 2019, over 90% of the US GDP was from consumer retail. And then he goes on to the very bottom and he says, number 8, this is a depression, not a recession. And for my friend Chadism, let me actually update you on the facts. As labor and supplies grew more scarce, the housing shortage got worse. In September 2021, on Realtor.com, they reported that the US was now short 5.2 million homes. In other words, again, still to this moment, no bubble to burst. In fact, you can't have a bubble to burst until it has nothing to do with values going up. It has to do with supply and demand. We are missing over 5 million homes. And until you satisfy that, doesn't matter how much the prices go up, nothing can burst until we build those missing 5 million homes. And you know how long that's gonna take? Could literally be 7 to 10 more years. What do you think that's gonna do to the value of real estate? After that video, I came out with my third prediction. I said Congress is going to print more money. And you know what? Joe Rocky came out and he said, delusional. And guess what? He got a bunch of thumbs up. Well, let me give you the fact. Congress has printed approximately $4 trillion in COVID release stimuli. Now, I want you to think about that for just a moment. $4 trillion. The reason why we have inflation nearing now nearly 8% and going on up is because the government is stupid. They think that the solution is just to print more money. What they're doing is they're avoiding the inevitable. And they're pandering to a bunch of Americans, giving them money that I don't want to say we don't need, because certainly there are those out there that were hurt that do need that money. But what the government did is they've created a problem that now for years to come, what if inflation gets over 10%, 11%, 12%? If all it does is hit 9%, then with compound interest over the next 5 years, you get to lose half of your money. Think about that. You're gonna lose the value on half of everything you've worked your whole life putting into 401k and IRA. And meanwhile, the rich are going to get richer. Why? Because hard assets go up with inflation while soft assets go down. Right now, what are the rich doing? Well, they're doing what I'm doing. We're buying real estate, we're buying hard assets, we're buying physical things, because inflation helps not just hedge against and protect these values, it actually can make you rich.
So your family is like rich?
Shortly after that, I made another video with another prediction, this time talking about the stock market in relation to real estate. And this is what I said. I said, right now the stock market is crashing, but the market has to rebound. Real estate, however, will not need to. If anything, real estate gets juicier. The longer this goes, the better real estate gets. And then I had Ryan Bianchi, who came out and said, in 2008, it was a bubble, but now that real estate has surpassed that and we're not in a bubble? Weird. Well, my friend Ryan, let me share with you the facts. The stock market rebounded. It surpassed its previous high after only 9 months, but real estate has only gone up. You need to understand that when the stock market goes down and goes into some type of recession, 3 out of 5 times it won't correlate with the real estate market. And you can look at the signals to know when they're going to be different from each other. It means that 2 out of 5 times there is a correlation. The stock market went down, the real estate market goes. That is not going to happen anytime soon over the course of the next decade. By the way, the stock market is still overdue for its plummet. On average, it does it every 7 years, and within 36 months, it comes back. And so right now, I'm not hyper bullish about putting money in the S&P, 401ks, IRAs. I am, however, putting it into real estate like crazy, because the gap is widening on how many homes we need, and we're not satisfying that demand. And the longer that goes, the more the prices have to keep going up. So even though it's been 2 years since I made that prediction, I'm telling you right now, it ain't stopping. This train is going, and you better get on it.
If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
A year ago, May 2021, I came out with my 5th prediction. In this video, I said, I think we're going to experience one of the best booms for years to come, but there will be a bubble and it will eventually burst. And I want to be really clear with you. If you understand the Kondratiev or K-wave cycle, every 4th turning, every 4th market, it'll literally create the biggest boom and the biggest bust. And right now, I believe just like the Great Depression was the last time in the 30s, we're experiencing it right now. I think this is going to be the greatest decade in the game of real estate. Then we're going to satisfy all that demand. And you know what's going to happen? We are going to be set up for literally one of the worst of all time of the century busts. And for an investor like you or me, if you're a subscriber on this channel, that means something really special. It means that we have unprecedented gains this decade, and then as everything goes back to the bank on massive foreclosure, we have unprecedented gains again, just like I saw in 2008. So how did In Your Empty Skull react to this prediction? He says, I'd be in deep delusional denial too if I were as deep in debt on rapidly depreciating assets like houses. And I'm like, bruh, where have you freaking been? Obviously, I'm not your mentor, but let's look at the facts. 2020 saw a 10% growth in prices. 2021 saw 20% growth. And if you look at January 2021 to now, January 2022, that 12-month gap, another 19% growth. Right now, house prices are going to continue going up because they have to. It's not hard and difficult to read like crypto or the stock market. Real estate is very predictable. When you have a greater population or migration and people need houses and there's not enough of them, that scarcity drives that value up because more and more people want the one thing that is now rarer and rarer. question is in your empty head, when are you gonna get it? Get it in your skull. You're missing out on one of the best times because you're too busy being a skeptic. Yeah, well, there are definitely people that think that I'm way out there, like lost in the woods. And you know what? I've got a 6 prediction that will cause those people to believe that I am lost in the woods. But if you're a subscriber on this channel, let me show you how to crush it. My 6 prediction is that we are going to see that bubble burst. And mark my words, you want to track inventory, and I'm going to help you understand how that 5.2 million missing homes is going to turn into 4 million, 3 million, 2 million. When we get to only 500,000 homes worth of inventory, you're going to see me sell, 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 sell. Everyone will say I'm crazy because the market will literally trek higher and higher and higher and higher. There's still money to be made. That is not the money that I want to make. And then mark my words, within a short time, that bubble will burst. And after that happens, I'm gonna swoop back in the market. Everyone's gonna be licking their wounds. They're gonna say real estate's the worst thing that ever happened to me. And meanwhile, I will be buying homes lightly from the banks at 70 to 85% discounts. Now, if you want to get in on that action, you better be a subscriber. The way I see it, I got a prediction for you in your life. You're either going to use the next 7 to 10 years to make millions of dollars, or you're going to sit on the sidelines, watch, do nothing, and maybe even complain a little bit. But guess what? This is my ride, and I'm taking off. And I'm inviting you to actually get in the front seat with me. I'm inviting you to go on a joyride where together I can literally show you how to, for example, take your 401k, IRA, or equity in your house, dump that in real estate, get on track for making some real money, actually step into your real financial future, start living the life that you actually want. And of course it's gonna be a risk. But you know what the alternative is? The riskiest choice that you can make. Don't sit on the sidelines. Click the link below, partner up, let's get at it. Okay, Kris, but you tell me, when is the market gonna go down? When is this thing gonna burst? I made a video all about it. Check out the prediction right here, baby. Listen, thanks for watching me on today's, I can't do that.